in the know for Friday, June 16, the 167th day of 2023. There are 198 days left in the year. Good morning, MD, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app, using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. We'll look forward to Father's Day weekend. We'll have a dad joke or two, and we'll give you your chance to win. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
You're wearing yourself silly watering and gardening and rose tending
Yes.
and all those things?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, already been watering this morning, haven't you?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, big weekend plans?
I hope not.
So, but it's Father's Day. I guess I was kind of fishing. Like, so
well,
big
but
weekend
you're not my
plans.
father.
That's I know, but we get to celebrate holidays
Yes.
together. So I thought.
I don't know. I'm sure there will be some food along the way.
Okay,
or...
food's always good.
Yeah.
That's a helpful thing to keep you running. He is a 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Post-Housey Road. He's Sam Gormley and the Sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm trying to get reacclimated, trying to get settled back in after being away for a few days. Thanks for sitting over here in my chair for a couple of days. I appreciate it.
I can see somebody's been messing with, everything's at the right angle, and it's not right now. And it's kind of bugging me.
Small little things that are out of place. Like some different handwriting was on my board, and
Not me.
I
Yeah,
didn't
it was
know why.
not.
I knew it was
me
neither.
either.
I recognize both of your handwriting, so I
It
got.
took us a minute to figure out who we thought it was.
And that person admitted to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, so
It
anyway,
almost had to be.
trying to get settled back in. I mentioned Post-Housey Road traffic stop karaoke is out, and I know the sheriff was here yesterday. Did you all announce traffic stop karaoke on the show yesterday?
We did.
You did announce it specifically, or
Yes.
was it still a tease?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got it.
Because I just opened it up, and as I told the sheriff before, I said, I'm going to let you do what you wanted. And I pretty much just opened it up and was like, I heard you were going on a, listen to the scanner, heard you were doing a motorist assist. And he said that he was going out there because he knows his friend Scratch lives on Post-Housey Road, so he's making sure that it wasn't him.
Yeah, I got it.
And as he said, he learned it was the wrong member of the family.
Come to find out.
Uh-huh.
And coincidentally, he just happened to be trying to get to a concert in Litchfield. That was a fun project, by the way. The sheriff, the last time he was here before yesterday and I were here, we kind of alluded to it and teased a little bit that this project was in the works, and it was a privilege for us to be involved in it. I know, Sam, you had a lot of hours in it involved. I had to do a little flying. And I got to first look at it, a week or so ago, and just was really impressed with how it turned out and how it incorporated a community that I love, like Caneyville, and incorporated people that I know well and love and respect, and so and the cause that it's for. So anyway, it was just a great intersection. It was a great intersection of things in our communities, great timing, and it was a great message too. The things that they both had to share, and then ways of uplifting Alexis, and just trying to make it possible that she can have some funds to do whatever it is that she wants. So if you enjoyed that video, it's like 30. Final cut was 36. 36 minutes long. It's entertaining, but more importantly, it's kind of like a little docu-series where you get to learn origins of Shane and growing up in the community, and maybe areas where he ended up in the ditch a few times, but was able to get back on the road that has propelled him to a huge amount of success and the ability to give back and come back and perform for his community. And so anyway, it was a great thing to see.
I love it too. In our industry, one of the main things you have to do is when you open up like a video or a show or an interview, you kind of want to, you got to grab the attention right away. And I think it was not planned, but the first story that LV Shane shares is the epitome of that. Because immediately, at least for me, I'm like, okay, I'm in. Like,
Yeah.
it's because it's a great story and it's using names that you can connect with, and then yeah. Now, how do you grade the sheriff's performance?
Oh, C minus.
Oh, the singing?
Of course. I mean, he's never going to get above a C minus from me, and I would expect the same from him. But anyway, it was good to see. He's getting some statewide attention. Some other news outlets and organizations have picked it up, seeing a lot of comments and things. So anyway, it's still there and will remain there for a long time. That's another thing too. It's as far as I know, it's going to be on our YouTube channel forever. And so people be able to go back and watch it for a long, long time.
And like I said, even if you're not necessarily a fan of country music or even really music in general, and you just like human interest, I think it has a lot of that, because he talks about addiction and so on, and his pathway. I think you can connect a lot with it.
And I have always loved the Carpool Karaoke project, the way that Corden did it. It was some of my favorite entertainment of the last decade that he's done. There's something about those artists feeling disarmed when there's not an audience in front of them. So it's whether it's Paul McCartney or LV Shane or Adele or whoever it is, when they hear their music on the radio and there's not 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 people in front of them, they relax and sing along just like they're in their own car. And that's the intimacy of the Corden model. And it's the intimacy of this model too, is that it's just Norman and Shane riding around in a car together. And by the way, they literally were on their way to the concert in Litchfield. They were on their way to sound check. And so it was not, now, the setup on it obviously was planned, but they were just on a journey. They were driving on Highway 79. They were driving on 62, etc. And so there's some of you that met them, by the way, and you had no idea you met them. You were just out on a Saturday morning going about your business, running to the flea market or going wherever, and there they went, and that was being documented. So anyway, it's genuine, it's insightful, and I hope that you'll enjoy it. But more importantly, when you see that QR code, use that as an opportunity to chip in.
And then it's also in the bio of the video too. You can click on that and get it that way. If QR code's a little daunting for you, then you can do it that way.
There have been significant donors, right? There have been, but there are no insignificant donors. 10, 20, 25, 50, whatever.
5.
It's not insignificant, so long as we collectively work together. So there you go. Weather forecast. Low system has moved back in, similar to what we had a week ago when we had those hazy skies thanks to the Canadian wildfire. Now, it will not be as bad as it was a week or so ago. I don't think we're going to see orange skies in the Northeast, but this low pressure system is pulling air out of the north again and bringing some haze, and that will also kind of keep our temperatures a little bit lower today, 82. Then tomorrow, 86. Father's Day says 89. The chance of rain we thought we might get late yesterday or middle of the afternoon yesterday, that got pushed back. They called ahead and said, no, don't bring that until Sunday. So maybe later on Sunday, but then Monday looks like a really good chance of rain with a high of 83, 85 next Tuesday, and then the solstice, the summer solstice, is
right on cue.
87 on Wednesday. So there you go. I was in Washington, D.C. Monday evening until early yesterday morning doing, it's what I would call an emergency lobbying trip. So you may know that earlier this year, Ford Motor Company announced they were going to not only leave AM radio out of their EV vehicles, they were complaining it says some type of interference between the batteries and the tuner. And then they also took the step and said, by the way, we're leaving them out of our combustion engines, combustion vehicles as well. And that got the attention of the National Association of the Broadcasters, got the attention of us, got the attention of state associations. and really got the attention of FEMA and a lot of other shareholders on the importance of AM radio. And really what it boils down to is the car manufacturers want to curate a different experience in the dashboard going forward. Auto manufacturers want to, every car that rolls off the line is going to have heated seats, but it's up to you to pay the subscription if you want the heated seats, or you want the defrosted mirrors, or you want massage, or you want lane assistance, or you want, so they're going to standardize this, but then they also, as dashboards get bigger, some cars now, like Mercedes, has a pillar-to-pillar dashboard. And
you could stream a football game on there.
That's
much.
Absolutely right. And the manufacturers are even now to the point of leaving Android and CarPlay out of the vehicle so that they get to control what's on the dashboard. And historically, once Ford, as an example, sells you a car, they're out of it, right? We made our money on the car. Good luck. See you when you need a new one. They've realized, hey, wait a minute. Ongoing revenue stream for us. We sell you the car, you drive it. Then we curate an experience of you might want to stream the latest first run movies. You might want to shop. You might want to do what. And so they are also saying, hey, we're going to leave AM radio out of here because it interferes, or it's interfered with. Well, what's going to happen next? Well, then FM radio will be next. So, but it really is a safety issue because 90% of Americans can be reached by FEMA with the primary entry point network, which is 80 stations. 62 of them are AM stations. And on a moment's notice, FEMA can speak to 90% of Americans, and not a cell phone is involved.
And that's important.
And we have places in our community. We have places in our country. We have places in eastern Kentucky. You can go for hours and not find a cell phone signal, which means you can't find broadband, which means. So when Congress learns of what the motor companies are planning to do, then you got a couple of guys who are polar opposites politically. Senator Ed Markey from Massachusetts, from Boston, and Ted Cruz from Texas. Ends of the political spectrum, they co-sponsored together a bill called the AM for Every Vehicle Act, which means AM radio will stay in cars going forward. And it looks like that legislation will take place. Anyway, so that's what I was doing. And
I mean, and one of the biggest things too with AM radio is I mean, like a good night, or I mean, it doesn't even need to. You can go in there and listen to radio stations from hundreds of miles away.
That's right.
And it's the power that 700 WLW out of Cincinnati, one of those epitome of AM radio.
That's right. It's one of those FEMA fortified stations too, by the way, where your federal government has built studios at the transmitter sites of WLW so that when other singular fail points fail, they can broadcast from the base of the tower, which means they can communicate with this half of the United States.
Well, to show you how powerful that tower is, my older brother used to live right underneath their tower. Mm-hmm. He couldn't get any other radio station in his house except for WLW because it was so powerful.
Yeah, so it's an important thing. It's a public safety thing, and I think that we've learned over the last couple of weeks. It's been funny how many people have asked me about it on the street that aren't in broadcasting that say, what's this thing about car manufacturers leaving AM out? And more importantly, it must remain free. And additionally, again, I'll move on, but it's what I've been doing all week, so I kind of feel like, that's what's on my mind. We are mandated to have the emergency alert system, and we are mandated to relay the information. We are mandated to give FEMA our airwaves when they deem them necessary. So shouldn't the auto manufacturers be mandated to make sure that receiver is capable of getting the transmitted information in times of emergency? And I say yes. They mandate seatbelts. They mandate now backup cameras. They mandate, it's a safety issue. And so to me, it's a no-brainer. So if you get a chance to talk to your congressperson about it, let them know. The other thing I did, I went to see Republican and Democratic senators and representatives playing baseball.
Oh.
Listen, he sent me this photo
Was
and told me, and I'm thinking this, and I'd had an odd day, okay? I'd had a very odd day. So for me to say, this is the weirdest thing I have seen, heard
Because
all
that's
day.
an every year thing. I know. Was Rand Paul in his Western uniform?
No, Senator Paul didn't play this year,
Oh.
but so
Because
you,
usually he wears like WKU gave him a full uniform.
but honey, did it make sense when I explained to you what was going on?
Yeah, but I looked at it and thought, what in the world?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just love it because most politicians, that's not necessarily. Now, I'm sure you
Right?
could get a couple of them out there that.
Well, tragically, a few years ago
Uh-huh.
is when Steve Scalise was shot, nearly killed, because of some guy who had a mass shooting and just went to where they were practicing. And so it was fun. It was wonderful to see Steve Scalise in the ball game the other night and got a big hit to start off the game, got a big cheer from everybody. It's partisan. You'll not be surprised. Down the right field line are the Republicans and down the left field line are the Democrats. And so you got congressional staffers, 20,000 people. I thought when they said we were going to this game, I'm like, oh, it's a charity event. And, there'll be a couple thousand people there, blah, blah, blah.
Who won?
20,000. Oh, the Republicans won like 11-3, and they've won the last several in a row. But funny, Wednesday morning, my first meeting was with Senator Morgan McGarvey from Louisville, and he was just coming from practice. So he was still like sweaty, and he came from the ball field to get ready for the game that night.
Since he's one of the younger guys out there, but I don't know that Morgan's necessarily the most. He doesn't look like he's the most athletic person.
No, he
in the
played baseball. He's a good
Oh,
player.
did he?
He got a really good hit the
Did
other
he? Well,
night.
good. Represent.
He first pinch ran, and then later in the game he got in, and he just drilled a gapper into the left center. And
Just say because I can't imagine
good for him.
Mitch getting out there and taking a couple swings or
yeah,
Hal
there's-
Rogers.
And it's funny. They steal. They play regulation field.
Did anybody
they
slide?
pitch from the mound. I didn't see any sliders.
Is it baseball or is it softball?
It's baseball. And I didn't realize it goes back. I kind of laughed at you,
pitches?
honey.
They do.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I'm telling you, I was
Sorry.
surprised, and I realized 1903. This is a tradition since 1903. Congressional
Now,
baseball
are they
game.
like doing the whole like we're just lobbing it in there, or is it like
No,
we're,
but it's funny because it looks a little bit like softball because all of the pitches tail off at the plate. Like because there's not enough velocity, but they're on line, but then they kind of dive at the plate, and
Not
so
enough
it's,
oomph.
yeah, it's kind of funny to
Well,
funny
that
to see. But
it's not like they're used to throwing. I mean, you can practice all you want, but you're not a
They're used
professional
to
athlete.
throwing words, not balls.
Yeah,
that's
no,
right.
you're
Or from 60 feet, and not, or from it's the bases are a lot further apart. But anyway, it was. It's always fun to be in the nation's capital, but I got to hear. Lots of the things you're seeing on the news, I got to see unedited versions of those from the Congress people, so that was kind of neat. All right, a couple things you need to know about before we get to our first break. After about a year of, I'll say patiently waiting, but in some cases probably not patiently waiting, Elizabethtown Road, Highway 62 between Litchfield and Clarkson, construction is going to resume next week. By the end of the year, Scotty's, who's taking over that project, by the end of the year, they're going to have an asphalt base down for you to be able, for that curve to be straightened and use that corridor. But the final paving coat is not going to be until spring. This project's going to put them late enough in the year that they'll get the base coat down, and then next spring, they'll go back and put the finish coat on top of it. And
I think anything's better than what we got.
that'll be that. Oh, yeah. I'd just be happy to drive straight through there. Would be nice. Learned yesterday the Owensboro Health Foundation has awarded the recipient of their new medical school scholarship for students in Grayson County, a name you're probably familiar with. Brett Crawford may receive a scholarship award of up to $200,000 to pay for medical school expenses. After graduation and residency, he will successfully enter into an Owensboro Health primary care, family medicine, or internal medicine practice in Grayson County. That's kind of the deal for the foundation, bequeaths this scholarship to you, but we're investing in you. We want you to invest in the community in turn. And so Brett received that.
Did he have to run to go get it or anything?
I think he had his track shoes on whenever he,
No, he was.
he had his
Great
running
cross
shoes
country.
on when he posed for that photograph with our friends there. So what else do you need to know about? There's some boring headlines that I don't really want to spend any time talking about. And can I skip that? Yeah, I can skip that. Yeah, U.S. Open. I can skip the rest of that. U.S. Open is underway.
Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky and Schauffele, right? Xander Schauffele.
I think
both
so,
shot. Both
I've
shot
always been a Ricky Fowler guy.
8 under 62s yesterday. So Ricky is back. I think things will dry out. The pins will be a little harder today, and we'll see. Today may be the great sorting hat at the U.S. Open, but luckily you can watch it until 10 o'clock tonight because it's on the West Coast, so you get primetime coverage of it on NBC. We got to get to a break. We're going to talk about your Father's Day weekend, how to celebrate, why we even celebrate it. That should be a no-brainer, but we'll tell you about it coming up here on In the Know.
DQ presents how to get the most from your next DQ treat run. Step 1, grab the new Oreo Brookie Blizzard. Step 2, dig in. That's it, because this triple-decker treat has brownie and cookie brookie pieces, plus Oreo pieces. Oh, that's a mouthful of DQ goodness in every red spoonful. Guess it's time for a treat run, because the Oreo Brookie Blizzard is here for a limited time, only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Owensboro Health offers excellent care for your entire family. Close to home in Grayson County with locations in Litchfield, Big Clifty, and Caneyville. Our primary care providers are experts in managing high blood pressure, diabetes, and other chronic conditions, so you can stay healthy and feel your best. Make an appointment today with one of our primary care providers at owensborohealth.org/primary care.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable.
ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start August 14th.
Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, College for the
Successful small business owners know that having an ally in decoding the data of your business performance is vital. A trusted source that can interpret financial reports, advise on tax code, and assess overall performance can be the difference between sleepless nights and peace of mind. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart is your ally in making sure your business is performing at an optimum level. Call or contact today to find out how Buckles, Travis & Hart can help fine-tune your business to create peak performance. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
Litchfield Tourism presents gospel music on East Main. Join Darren Whiteley and the Edwards family as they welcome Eternal Vision.
Everybody will be happy.
And the Roar. Friday, June 16th at 7 p.m. on East Main Street in Litchfield. Free gospel concert sponsored by Litchfield Tourism featuring Eternal Vision.
You just call on me, brother. Yeah.
Friday, June 16th at 7 p.m. on East Main Street in Litchfield.
At Holiday World and Splash and Safari, sometimes free takes a little convincing, especially with dads.
Free parking? That's how they get you.
They're just naturally suspicious of free stuff. Free soft drinks!
Whoa. That's how they get you.
But after a day of fun on the world's longest water coasters and our 400 drone light show, dads come around. At Holiday World, we get you. We're just not out to get you. That's why there's
free soft drinks, free parking, free sunscreen.
Get tickets at holidayworld.com.
Twitter is being evicted from its offices in Boulder, Colorado. This is due to unpaid rent. The landlord says Twitter was asked to pay the outstanding amount several times, but they received no response. The social media company also being sued by a cleaning contractor for nearly $100,000 in unpaid invoices. Artificial intelligence has become so believable that there are growing worries it can be used for evil, such as scams. There have been calls for Congress to step in, but Senator Ted Cruz says we need to pump the brakes on that.
Will there need to be regulations over time concerning AI? Almost certainly. But to be honest, Congress doesn't know what the hell it's doing in this area.
The Texas Republican joked to Politico that the median age in the Senate is about 142 years old, meaning they're not a tech-savvy group. He worries that over-regulation could hamper U.S. innovation. And Syngin is revealing new details about its first autonomous artificial intelligence-powered forklift. The company says the driverless forklift is capable of tackling the most demanding industrial jobs. Check report, Mark Mayfield.
ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3. Simple as strawberry.
is Flip Flop Day. I don't have them on now, but I bet I will before the end of the day.
Well, yeah.
What-
I have on sandals, but I've been threatening Sam with the flip flop for.
When he
I
gets
thought
out
you
of
were.
line.
It was Josh that you almost were going to have to.
Well,
'cause
that,
he,
yeah, that. But I've
Ooh.
I've threatened you
Good
too.
old Josh came in when he filled in on Wednesday, and he went and immediately sat in her seat. And I said, if I were you, I would.
Yeah.
Stay out of the seat and out of the parking space.
Yep.
Absolutely. Today is Recess at Work Day. It's Fresh Veggies Day. Interestingly enough, today is Fresh Veggies Day, but tomorrow is Eat Your Vegetables Day. So the fresh veggies that you snack on today, you have more of them tomorrow in whatever style you like, I
Well,
suppose.
maybe you pick them today and eat them tomorrow.
Maybe. Tomorrow, apple strudel. Sunday, Autistic Pride Day. Sunday is Go Fishing. Sunday is Father's Day, as you probably are aware already. We celebrate Father's Day on the third Sunday in June in the United States. They also celebrate it in the United Kingdom. Interestingly enough, that Mothering Day, which is the Brits' version of Mother's Day, is in March instead of May, but the United Kingdom and the United States both celebrate Father's Day at the same time. So they also celebrate it in Canada, India, and a number of other countries around the world on this same third Sunday in June. You might go fishing, you might go camping, you might go cooking, grilling out. The modern American version of Father's Day has a history that goes well beyond greeting cards. The first known Father's Day service occurred in Fairmont, West Virginia, July 5, 1908, after hundreds of men died in the worst mining accident in U.S. history. The Sunday service happened because of the efforts of Grace Golden Clayton, the daughter of a dedicated reverend. While missing her own dad, who had died in 1896, Mrs. Clayton wanted to honor the many fathers who had died in the mining explosion, which killed more than 360 men and boys and left about 1,000 children fatherless. Although the Fairmont service was the first known to honor fathers, it didn't turn into an annual event, nor was the idea promoted. And several other people across the nation had similar ideas throughout the years, but Mrs. Sonora Smart Dodd is credited for being the one to popularize it, starting events that led to Father's Day becoming a national holiday. She was listening to a Mother's Day sermon in 1909, and she thought, it'd be a good idea for her to have a Father's Day as well, and so it was created. So, several different ways that you can celebrate. Different dads, I'm sure, want different things.
Just leave dads alone. Isn't that the let you watch the U.S. Open?
Some of them want that. That's it. That's the other thing. The U.S. Open is going to go late into Sunday evening, so I'm sure it'll be on all afternoon. You get to they'll cover the entire thing. It's hard to stay ahead of dads on dad jokes.
Listen,
How's Alea feel about the dad joke? She
loves them.
So my stepbrother-in-law, he may end up being the best dad joke teller ever.
Yeah.
Jared.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's high praise.
I don't know. How about I can't bring my dog to the pond anymore because the ducks keep attacking him. I guess that's what I get for getting a purebred dog. Purebred dogs, ducks. Yeah. That one was from Logan Lyle.
I wish I had control over your board there. I think you got some cricket sound effects there.
Those are not mine. That's Logan Lyle's joke. I only seem to get sick on weekdays. I must have a weakened immune system. What did the triangle say to the circle? You're pointless.
It's not very nice.
What's the other one? Oh, hey, Dad, did you get a haircut? Nope, I got them all cut. And where do pigs do pigs like to relax? In hammocks. All right. A couple of Father's Day quotes. Clarence Kellen said, "My father didn't tell me how to live. He lived and let me watch him do it." Umberto Eco, the Italian novelist, said, "I believe that What we become depends on what our fathers teach us at odd moments when they aren't trying to teach us. We are formed by little scraps of wisdom. Will Rogers, the American politician, said his heritage to his children wasn't words or possessions, but an unspoken treasure, the treasure of his example as a man and a father. So, and then I'll have one more. My pearl of wisdom today will be Father's Day related. All right. Why are there so many ticks in your yard and what to do about it? They are, I saw on Facebook a couple of days ago, a nest of ticks. Like I said, if you see one of these in your backyard, burn it immediately. They look like little jelly pellets. Have you seen them?
Sure, I mean, I just never processed that a tick would have a nest. Like, it makes sense that it would, but I just never.
Well, just like you have an ant hill, there's
Yeah,
a tick
it's
nest in it.
I've never. I'm wondering if I'm pulling up a picture now to see if
I wouldn't if I were you.
But I need to know.
Yeah, I know, but just you would. I think you would know it if you would see it.
I'm just wondering if I've ever seen one, and I've wondered kind of,
See, yeah. Ticks thrive in cool, damp, shaded environments. So tall grass is fertile ground. Keep your yard between 3 and 4.5 inches. Don't allow it to grow past 5 or 6 inches, and cut weeds back using a string trimmer. 3 and 4.5 inches. No, thank you. You're gonna have to be shorter than that. At least I think. Grass clippings and leaf piles are prime habitats for ticks and the rodents that carry them. So rake and bag these up instead of letting them accumulate. Create mulch or gravel barriers. Because they prefer vegetation, other materials can serve as a physical barrier to them traveling into and through your yard. Putting a 3-foot wide bed of gravel or dry mulch around the perimeter of your property, at the very least, at the edge of wooded areas or your neighbor's yard, can create a huge hurdle for tick movement. Pest-proof your space. You can take steps to minimize what attracts them in the first place by putting in deer-resistant plants, installing fencing, minimizing rodent-friendly habitats, and keeping waste, compost, and recycling bins and other sources of food secured.
Oh, I'm sure you're very happy to get rid of the compost.
I'm completely, totally happy to get rid of the compost. So, ticks are ugly.
They are ugly.
I don't even know how to describe what that thing looks like.
It looks like a big sack vomiting out like little bitty things. It's disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Well,
It is.
the coloring of it reminded me of...
And I saw multiple different colors.
If you have... Yes, but the one I saw was like, if you have chocolate milk and you have a little straw and you started blowing through the straw and those little bubbles, that's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Yep.
If you're eating your breakfast this morning, you may want to wait till later.
I was going
If
to
you're
pull a
eating your
picture.
breakfast right now, you should have gotten up earlier because this time of morning is really too late for breakfast.
Oh.
Are you eating your
I've
bar
already
over there?
finished
Okay.
mine.
I was gonna
Listen,
say,
this is my breakfast time. I don't.
Breakfast is good. As I say, the fast food restaurants, you pretty much 10:30 is the limit. So as long as it's before 10:30, you're good.
That's true. All right, you're fine. A new study says limiting social media use to 30 minutes daily reduces anxiety and depression in young adults. Like so much else in life, social media is best enjoyed in moderation. That's the main finding of a team at Iowa State University who focused on young adults and their mental health. When a group of college students limited their social media usage to just 30 minutes daily, participants scored significantly lower for anxiety, depression, loneliness, and FOMO, fear of missing out. Tens of millions of people use social media daily, but concerns have mounted in recent years over the psychological impact of these platforms. Got even worse during the pandemic because that's all you had. And so we even see it in 7-year-olds, she's not on social media, but she enjoys playing games where she's able to collaborate with her peers, cousins, whatever. But you can see how they get engrossed in these things. And we as adults are also, we're scroll happy and go and go and go. What's interesting is that I know that I lived through a period without social media. I mean, I know for a fact. I know when I became active on Facebook. I know when I became active on Twitter. I know all of those things. But I almost don't remember what it felt like to not have it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know I lived the majority of my life without it.
Because I've had it for about a decade.
Yeah. So I guess I'm 14 years. So, I mean, I know, but I can't remember. It was like, what did I used to do instead? And perhaps that's the most troubling part. What did you do instead of that? And does that mean you're not doing that now? Whether it's exercise or reading or just working on self or whatever it might be.
I think prior to social media, I think email was an instant, well, depending on your workplace or whatever, in our office, instant messaging was available. And I mean, I know when I merged or migrated all of my emails, they go back, they predate social media.
Right. Yeah, mine too, in my PST file.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is an explanation for what we did before social media. You can relive the internet of the 90s by building your website with NeoCities. Now, NeoCities sounds a whole lot like GeoCities. If you weren't alive during this period, you might be interested to know that GeoCities was launched in 1995. It was early internet's best-known host of free, user-created websites. Over 38 million pages were still being hosted by the service when the parent company, Yahoo, pulled the plug in 2009. Luckily, all that greatness was not lost forever. Many of GeoCities sites are available now through the internet's Wayback Machine, or you can check out this GeoCities archive with sites organized by neighborhood just like they did back in the day. So what NeoCities does is it enables you to go in and create a 90s era page or community just like you did with GeoCities. If you thought MySpace was primitive compared to what we have now, GeoCities was more primitive than that. Everything was crowded together. Everything was animated. No, I don't think I had a GeoCities page.
I didn't, but when I was in programming, Mr. Bean did, even though it was C+ programming, he did show us, but we didn't create anything.
I've never heard of this.
You could make little things like walk across the screen and then turn around and walk back across the screen. Or it would be something holding a sign and it would wiggle the sign back and forth. And
very, very primitive.
It's hilarious to sit and think about that. Like show Alea that. And just tell her, because I've at least lived through areas where, technology was still kind of new in that age and still advancing. She's not.
No, but
she doesn't know Clippy. Wasn't that his name?
Yeah, Clippy, right? Yeah, from the Office, Microsoft Office. By the way, speaking of proud dad moment on Sunday, she was playing barbershop, and I said, "Welcome to my shop. Let me cut your mop." And so she started chanting that. I was like, "Time for the Rabbit of Seville." She crawled up in my lap, and we watched the 7.5 minutes of the Rabbit of Seville, and she belly laughed. And I was like, this kid loves Bugs Bunny. My work here is done. But we'll have to do GeoCities another day. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way here on In the Know.
Living in your ideal home, or is it still a dream? Future Designs Building Materials can help you turn your dreams into reality with atrium windows that will make the sun look brighter, roofing material that will keep your home protected year-round, and decking material for that perfect barbecue setting. Now is the perfect time to get your home improvement project off the ground. Got questions? Future Designs Building Materials can help with all your lumber and home improvement questions. Visit Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield or fdbm.net.
If there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that our children's health is vitally important. Today we're talking to Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman about K-CHIP, the Kentucky Children's Health Insurance Program.
K-CHIP is health insurance at no cost for kids up to age 19 who meet eligibility. It's designed to make sure no one falls through the cracks because our future depends on our kids, and we must keep them healthy.
You mentioned that it's $0 for those who are eligible. How does a family qualify?
Those who qualify must meet income guidelines, but the guidelines are generous. We say if your family income is less than $60,000 or $70,000 a year, look into K-CHIP. You may qualify.
Lieutenant Governor, you've been a teacher, a basketball coach, and you're a mother, so it's easy to see why K-CHIP is so important to you.
That's right. Children have always been a big part of my life, and K-CHIP is designed to make sure all kids have health insurance.
To find out more, just search K-CHIP online. That's KCHIP.
Down, set, 8, 1, 1, 8, 1, 1.
The best football teams always get the call right, and you need to make the right call before you excavate. If you don't and you damage a natural gas line, the Kentucky Public Service Commission will investigate, and you could be fined up to $1,250. So make the right call. Put safety first. Call 811 before you dig. Touchdown! Oh my goodness! This message brought to you by the Kentucky Public Service Commission.
This Father's Day, find the perfect gift for the dad who loves the perfect yard. From steel chainsaws and blowers to trimmers and edgers, you'll find gas-powered tools that Dad is sure to love. Visit your local steel dealer and save $20 on the BG50 blower. Now just $129.99. Real STIHL. Find yours at STIHLdealers.com. Was $149.99 MSRP. Offer valid for a limited time at participating dealers while supplies last.
Maybe you're not one of those frequent flyers, but sometimes you just want to hit the beach. Or see your new granddaughter. Or go to that out-of-state wedding. Whatever the reason for your getaway, if it involves flying in the U.S. or visiting a military base after May 7th, 2025, you'll need a Kentucky Real ID driver's license or an ID that is Real ID compliant. Make a plan to get your Kentucky Real ID now. Go to realidky.com.
This is Kentucky, where the only thing ordinary is the unexpected.
I got everything you need.
Horse country, legendary distilleries, rivers to paddle, lakes to splash and relax, big city vibes and small town charms. This is Kentucky. Come see for yourself. Plan your road trip at KentuckyTourism.com.
I got everything you need.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather.
The Canadian wildfire smoke sticks around for today, which will lead to some filtered sunshine and also some poor air quality. As we head into this afternoon, look for a high of only 82 degrees. That will be courtesy of a cold front that pushes through this morning. Tonight, a low of 59. Tomorrow, beautiful, a high of 86 degrees under sunny skies. From the Wavestorm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
Choose your chill this summer at McDonald's. Choose Fanta, wild cherry, or blue raspberry, or frozen Coca-Cola. Choose your chill at McDonald's.
Spend a night in LA, just another chance to see you. Just you and I wanted
Did you know your nose gets warmer when you tell a lie? Your nose gets warmer when you tell a lie. Longer and warmer. But when you tell a Pinocchio, and your nose gets longer and warmer. Are you Pinocchioing? Maybe. I don't know.
I've asked that question a time or two.
You have. What did you all give away yesterday? Do you remember?
It was
Holiday World.
It ended up being Holiday World, but we did
Winner's Choice.
Winner's Choice.
Winner's Choice. Got it. Okay,
Yeah,
so
we even switched up how we were doing the water cooler question
we
too.
You did?
Yeah, like we asked the question on. We pretty much kind of went to like Kathy Riggs's game, but I kind of updated
But in our
it.
own version now.
All right. So what you're saying is you think you all do it better than me? Is that what you're
That's
saying?
not what we're saying.
Absolutely, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, he may be.
No, we just like the question we asked, and we enjoyed the answers. Was who's Christy's favorite artist?
Listen, some of the answers, and I said again yesterday, I am disappointed.
That's why the text line said LV Shane over and over yesterday?
No.
Yes. Well, the answer
No.
was that the question yesterday was who is his traffic stop karaoke with?
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Okay.
The
gotcha.
day before was my favorite artist.
Oh, yeah.
If you wonder why Brooks and Dunn came through.
Yes.
I didn't see that one, but some of you all need to learn how to spell Snoop Dogg.
D to the double G, right?
I mean, What? I'm on Capitol Hill, and my phone starts blowing up with Snop Dog, and I'm like,
What are they doing?
some of it. Well, no, I knew what I knew what was going on because I knew what time it was, but it was just funny.
Well,
I just
Were you
started
with,
getting Snoop Dogg on my screen.
Mitch McConnell there, and he said, "No, I think there's two O's there."
And
Yes.
I even busted out the Litchfield Aquatic Center day passes.
Oh, look at you go!
I know.
Well,
Listen, when the cat's away.
throwing all kinds of stuff. You're all more than welcome to do whatever you want. Okay, here's today's water cooler question. We're kind of running behind, so we better get to it. Here's today's water cooler question. If you or someone in your household's not won in the last 30 days, you qualify to win by texting your answer to 270-259-6000, 270-259-6000. I'll give you winner's choice again today to wrap up the week. So you can choose Holiday World or Beach Bend, but you will draw from all the correct answers. And the question is this: 1 in 4 men say they knew they had turned into their father when they started doing this. 1 in 4 men say they knew they had turned into their father when they started doing this. 1 in 4. Text the answer to 270-259-6000. 1 in 4 men say they knew they had turned into their father when they started doing this.
No, I just read one of the guess. I accidentally looked down at the watch thinking it was an email, but it was a guess instead, and I appreciated the guess.
Someone say Snop Dog.
Well, it was also funny, and this is not. We got a lot of Elvis Shane too, which that's
autocorrect,
autocorrect.
probably, yeah.
Because somebody even just said Elvis, and I asked the sheriff. I said, "Did you switch it up and not tell me?"
Weekend movie premieres: The Flash, new in theaters. That's Michael Keaton. Elemental, the new Pixar film.
Those are two big ones.
Catherine O'Hara, she plays on Craps Creek, and then she's Kevin McAllister's mother.
Mm-hmm.
She's in Elemental.
Yeah, we've talked about that, and we saw the preview trailer for it. It looks awesome.
Asteroid City, I was telling you about. Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Margot Robbie is in it. They got a whole cavalcade of stars in Asteroid City out today. And The Blackening, Dwayne Perkins, Cinqua Walls, and Antoinette Robertson. Never heard of it.
I saw in fact, I think when I went to watch Traffic Stop Karaoke yesterday, that was one of the YouTube puts in the trailer beforehand.
Oh, puts in a little video.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, I hadn't heard this thing was coming out.
Live Nation and Ticketmaster will show full ticket prices up front starting this fall. So they have decided, and one of them, like SeatGeek or one of the others, are doing a toggle button where you can see it if you want it.
I think SeatGeek has that already.
They already do that. And now, to be clear, they're not reducing any of the fees.
Mm-hmm.
They're just telling you from the jump how much it's going to be when you click on a ticket price, because you can get to the end of the process. You buy 4 tickets, you may be paying $200 a ticket in fees. Facility fee, whatever, venue fee, order processing. And by the way, order processing in the 21st century, when it's done by computer, delivered to your phone with a QR code, you're going to charge $5 to process an order?
It's not like somebody's sitting back there stamping them.
At that rate, I want an actual ticket stub. Even if it doesn't work, like when you left, if they handed one to you. Because that's what I miss. I miss having the memento.
In the olden days, when K-Tel Record Company hooked you on buying and then it said send $9.99 for shipping and handling. Mm-hmm. In my mind, it's like, well, some dude's in the back room doing the handling. Yeah. Like he's like, I'm going to take this over here and I'm going to put it in the box and I'm going to slap a label on it. Sure, there's shipping and handling, but an order processing fee when a computer does all the work? Come on, that's where they get you. Wham! George Michael and Andrew Ridgeley are getting the Netflix documentary treatment. So Netflix has shared the first trailer for its upcoming film about Wham. Not sure when the full one is coming out, but if you love Wham, you can find out, I'm sure. And Al Pacino, congrats to he and his I don't like the word baby mama, but baby mama, I guess they have I think it was a new son. He's 83, she's 29, and they have a new son named Roman Pacino. So there you go.
Good name. I mean, got a good ring to it.
Congratulations, Roman Pacino. All right, we got to get to a break. We'll come back, figure out who our winner is. We'll have Chart Toppers, Point to Ponder, and more coming up here on In the Know.
Couples spend a lot of time thinking about their future, but I think it's a good idea to reflect on your past. Reminiscing is a valuable activity for couples to engage in from time to time, and that's a bond that forms between two people who have shared experiences together. Your past is more than a collection of random memories. It represents a journey you and your spouse have taken together that infuses your relationship with richness and meaning. And that's why reminiscing is especially helpful for those who have been married for a long time. It's healthy to remember the good times you've shared and the difficulties you've faced and overcome together. It can encourage you to hope for good times ahead and remind you of the troubles you can get through if you stick together. But reminiscing isn't just an activity for us older folks. It's for new couples as well. If you're a newlywed, you obviously don't have many years worth of shared experiences to reminisce about, but you do probably have a lot of great memories together from the months or years before you got married. Reflect on those times, even if they weren't that long ago. Intimacy doesn't develop in the newness of a relationship, but over the miles you travel together through life. Fun memories about when you first met, your first date, or other funny or heartwarming stories from your relationship are crucial building blocks that will carry into the future. To help your marriage thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
Inflation is crippling American families, and the current administration sure isn't doing you any favors. It's times like these you need to find ways to spend less wherever you can. One easy way is switching your wireless service to Pure Talk. That's right, veteran-owned Pure Talk is wireless for Americans by Americans. Instead of wasting their money on thousands of retail stores you'll never go into, famous actors you don't care about, or expensive perks you'll never use, they just want to save you money. In fact, Pure Talk saves the average family almost $1,000 a year, and the coverage is great. The most dependable 5G network in the U.S. You can get unlimited talk, text, and plenty of high-speed data for just $30 a month. If you're ready to cut your wireless bill in half, dial pound 250 and say keyword spend less, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Again, dial pound 250 and say spend less, and make the switch to Pure Talk today.
This Father's Day, find the perfect gift for the dad who loves the perfect yard. From steel mowers and blowers to trimmers and chainsaws, our AK Homeowner System of battery-powered equipment has a range of tools Dad is sure to love. Visit your local steel dealer and save $50 on the FSA 57 battery trimmer set. Now just $149.99. Real steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. Was $199.99 MSRP. Set includes AK-10 battery and AL101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time at participating dealers while supplies last.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. Reading where emojis in the medical field are becoming a thing. Y'all talked about this?
No. It was didn't have enough time to get to it, so it's good that you brought it up. We talked a little bit more about LV than I had planned on yesterday, so that's good.
All right,
bringing it up.
honey, you worked in the medical profession with training and charts and digitization and all those things. Can you imagine having to code in the emojis that accompany orders and or diagnoses?
I mean, yes and no. Because of my odd sense of humor, I would find it funny. So for the green vomiting face, for, when a physician or nurse says emesis, whatever, I would love to be able to throw up that green vomiting face. That would be really funny.
Or, I mean,
that'd be good.
You got the
poo.
The poo.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem overly professional to me.
No, it does not. But again, my weird sense
But
of
it's
humor.
like, some people would probably, like, if I was in the hospital, I'd probably get a kick out of that. Because you're like to...
More and more, we're having language barriers.
And emojis are...
And so emojis are kind of a universal language. Even like you run into someone and you don't speak the same language. A smile goes a long way.
Sure. Sure.
A wave, or a warning sign, like,
Hey.
don't go over there or whatever. So maybe, yeah, like skunk, like skunk, yeah, skunk. But now, if my doctor says I have your test results and they send me the dead man face, then I'm like, oh no, hang on, I don't want the emoji. You just
send you a coffin.
Yeah, don't do that, or the Grim Reaper or something. Don't do that. Our water cooler question. The answer was dancing badly at wedding receptions and things like that. Doing the things that I deliberately. But see, my dad doesn't do that. I came to that on my own accord, or I don't. I mean, I've seen my dad do silly dances before when we were kids, but there's not. It's not. Don't let my dad loose at the. Don't let my dad loose at the family reunion, or he's going to be cutting a rug weirdly.
Oh, I really need to see that.
I mean, that would be funny, but it doesn't happen. But I don't necessarily do it, but I certainly would. If I thought it could embarrass Taylor, I would do it without a doubt.
Or Alea now.
Or Alea, yeah, but she's a pretty funny dancer herself,
Yes.
so I think she would enjoy it. Now there'll become a point where she'd be embarrassed by it, but right now she's all in. So
Looks
did anybody know?
5 people did.
Five
So
people.
if you could pick the number between 1 and 5.
By the way, what were some of the other answers?
Well, mine was falling asleep watching the TV. Somebody said grilling.
Oh.
I said turning off light switches or fussing about light switches.
Saying when I was your age. That's a good answer.
Back when I was a boy.
Putting tools back correctly.
1 through 5, I'll go with 4. 4.
That would be 4294.
4294. Congratulations, winner's choice today. And Monday we'll start back with our rotation. We will be here Monday, even though it's a holiday. So you can celebrate Juneteenth after the show on Monday if you want to. I also feel like I need to be here because I wasn't here for 3 days this week.
Does that mean we get to bounce out on
You
Monday?
all weren't here on Tuesday either, so there you
Well,
you celebrated Juneteenth.
I
on
mean, I wasn't
Tuesday.
on the show, but
That's right.
I was
we're
physically
talking,
here.
We're talking about the show on TV. The U.S. Open continues today on USA during the day, NBC at night. 2020 is tonight on ABC. Exposing Parchment tomorrow on A&E. The Great Food Truck Race on Sunday. It's the season 16 premiere on the Food Network. And AMC has The Walking Dead, Dead City. No, thank you. You can have mine. Today's highlight in history, this date in 1858. Accepting the Illinois Republican Party's nomination for the U.S. Senate, Abraham Lincoln said the slavery issue had to be resolved, declaring a house divided against itself cannot stand. In 1903, Ford Motor Company was incorporated. In 1941, the National Airport, now Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, opened for business with a ceremony attended by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. I was there yesterday morning.
At that ceremony?
At the airport.
Oh.
At Reagan. And that even has a statue of Reagan out front now.
Does he make? Were you pointing to it, or does he? Is that actually like how
he kind of has a
Does he
finger
have like
pointing kind of, not like a Bill Clinton thing where it's like a or pistol fingers. It's in 2015, Donald Trump got into the presidential race. Came down the big escalator this date in 2015. Birthdays today: Phil Mickelson is 53. Diana DeGarmo from American Idol is 36. Gone but not forgotten.
Wow. It's a weak list.
Yep, not very long. Stan Laurel in 1890. Tupac Shakur, born this date in 1971. Sam, big Father's Day plans?
Meeting tomorrow for some
Yeah?
in Louisville, and then it ends up working out perfectly. Grayson County basketball summer ball, they getting into Chris Gaither's tournament up at Collins last second.
128 teams, 128 teams, but it's like a bunch of
But
games.
at the last second, they get into this tournament, and Chris Gaither slides them. Going to play Lyon County in the first game.
Oh,
so I'm like,
yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks, coach.
Thanks a lot.
So, but it'll be cool. I'm hoping that I can slide in there and see Travis Perry play.
Gotcha. Honey, is your dad so much in hay that you will or won't? If you want to have to hop on a tractor if you want to see him or what?
Actually, my Father's Day gift to my dad is to leave him alone on Father's Day weekend. because it is the National Hot Rod Reunion.
Oh, yeah. They have a big
and-
thing down there, don't
yes.
they? Yeah.
So, but I'll catch up with him, sooner rather than later. But there's hay, and then, of course, the Hot Rod Reunion. So.
My dad would probably very much enjoy going to that as well.
Yeah.
Well, say hello to my dad.
Yeah, I can. Y'all can.
Maybe
do
they
it.
can hitch up and they can.
Yeah.
They'd probably enjoy it together because they
Probably.
can
Absolutely
talk about all of the.
I'm sure I'll see my dad probably multiple times on Sunday, on Father's Day. So anyway,
You have a long trip to get to him.
I do. I'm sure I'll see him probably first at church. So that'll be all right. Chart toppers. We're so far behind. Let's go to 1957, the Everly Brothers, number one.
Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye, happiness.
You know how it goes. You've heard it before.
Yes.
Let's go to 1966, the Rolling Stones, Paint It Black.
Is that all we get?
Colors anymore, I want them to turn black.
Let's go to 1975, the Captain and Tennille, Love Will Keep Us Together. Duran Duran, The Reflex, 1984. That's the Way Love Goes, Janet Jackson, 93. Vanessa Carlton, 1,000 Miles in 02. Adele, Rolling in the Deep in 2011. And Blinding Lights, The Weeknd, number one 3 years ago today. I hope all dads have a great Father's Day, especially mine and my father-in-law as well. Sam, I hope Dave has a great Father's Day as well.
Happy Father's Day to
You know,
you.
celebrate big. Oh, thank you very much. So we'll look forward to seeing you back here and get all caught up from the weekend. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today, I think, should be true for all of us. A father is someone you look up to no matter how tall you grow. A father is someone you look up to no matter how tall you grow. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes,